Lean product development, talking about maximizing value, minimizing waste. I'll start with a bit of a story. A long time ago in a country far, far away, I studied chemistry at university. I actually studied and trained to be an analytical chemist. What does that mean? It means you grind lots of little powders up and put them through very expensive machines to put squiggly lines on bits of paper. And then you can figure out what's in it, which is cool. But chemistry, philosophically, is the first science. And I'll have all you physicists argue with me about that one because it's very practical. But chemistry taught me the essence of an experiment. And here's the thing, experiments don't fail. Our hypothesis is either proven or refuted. We can have poor experimental technique, which will contaminate our experiment and invalidate our results. But the experiment hasn't failed. Our execution of the experiment has failed. So assuming we're executing correctly and following correct protocols, how does science work? It's pretty simple. You come up with a hypothesis and you run a series of experiments. And we found this works really well in pharmaceuticals. So before a pharmaceutical is released to the market, it will be tested on 3 groups. The first group is the control group, and nothing's given to them. The second group is the placebo group, where they're given something like a sugar pill, which is what placebo literally means. And then the third group is given the medication. You can then analyze whether the medication makes a stochastic or material probabilistic difference to the people's condition. You can then confirm or deny whether that medicine has had the impact that you planned. How does this apply to product? How does it fit with lean? Well, it's the same approach. We build a hypothesis. We believe that if we do this, that will happen. We make sure we have controls and measures in place. We add that particular feature or capability to our product, let it out into the market and see what happens. There are many companies that are very, very good at this. Spotify, Facebook. And what they'll do is they'll run it on varying groups. They'll control it. And this brings in the whole world of A/B testing, multivariate testing, but it's based on that first formulation of a hypothesis. We believe that if we do that, this will happen. You have to make sure you got metrics in place, because when you say this will happen, how are you going to measure that? At what point do you prove you've worked or not? So then you can run your experiment. And this is where the lean bit comes in. Being very controlled about the number of experiments we run, because if we run multiple experiments changing a lot of variables, we have no idea what made the difference. So if we've got a recipe for cooking something and we want to mix it up a little, change one aspect. Because if we change 5 aspects, what was the bit that was good? And this is where iterative and incremental kicks in. And it's not an iteration if you only do it once, which has driven me to distraction in so many places where they use the term MVP and they only just release one version of it. It's like, no, that's very, very predictive thinking. That's your one shot. So being scientific means that we are open to learning. And this is one of my frustrations with people saying fail fast. I don't want to fail. I want to learn. And learning early is a cultural change. It's a place of psychological safety. It's a place of trust. It's a place of curiosity. Be curious about our world. Be curious about what our product does. Run experiments, learn, grow, iterate. So a scientific approach is a professional, modern, rational approach to product development to maximize value and minimize waste.